Welcome to our latest video of the simple PPM orchestration tool, or Spot, for Micro Focus PPM. Spot is our popular PPM add-on for any form of PPM integration, regardless of the module, external data source, or direction of data flow. Previous videos available on our website demonstrate integration with financial extracts, ServiceNow, and Jira. Today, for the first time, I'm going to go ahead and show you a bidirectional integration with one of the more popular tools out there called Smartsheet. Smartsheet is most commonly used for collaboration and work management, therefore highly related to PPM. But before we go ahead with the demo, let me quickly give you an overview of the use cases and remind you what Spot's all about. So we consider Spot a one-stop shop for bidirectional and robust PPM integrations. You configure the integrations using Excel, yet they can be automatically triggered externally. It leverages proven components from products developed by PPMagics throughout the years and deployed worldwide. We've designed the solution with 4 pillars in mind, and they include simplicity, completeness, flexibility, and safety. Let's go ahead and describe the use cases we're going to demo today. So we have an organization that uses both Smartsheet and Micro Focus PPM. Their project managers like to use work plans in Smartsheet, and we need to synchronize that information from Smartsheets into PPM work plans. Then we have the reverse case where we need to export PPM project details that represent Smartsheet portfolio contents. So let me go ahead and quickly switch over to the Spot solution. So Spot uses Excel to configure integrations, and if need be, manually edit the data before it travels to the target system. However, once the integrations have been configured, and assuming the data can flow without manual interventions, then those data loads can be fully automated on the server side by using PPM reports or operating system jobs. So before we start use case number 1, let's take a look at the state of the data in both systems. So here we have a PPM work plan. The WBS is called APO infrastructure with one task. Then we have another work plan called call center upgrade with another task. Let's take a look at the equivalent work plans in Smartsheet. So here we have our work plan in Smartsheet for APO infrastructure. Has the same project initiation task, but one more task. Same thing for the call center upgrade work plan. We have the same initial task, project planning marathon, but then we have another task as well. So as a one-time activity, when the two PPM projects are created, they're already linked to these Smartsheet projects. Now let's go ahead and configure the integration. Going back to Spot, I'll click on the magnifying glass icon. So I'm going to import into PPM. Choose the type as defined application. We would choose Smartsheet from the list of applications. The entity is project. The PPM entity type will be work plan, and the PPM subentity type will be task. Go ahead and click on select. So here on this search screen, generic filters such as business unit can be configured so we can process a very large number of objects at once. But for demo purposes, I'm going to go ahead and select individual work plans. Click on select to select the 2 plans. Click on OK. So here we are on step number 2, or our second tab, is where we essentially get to put the field mappings together. And we already have a field mapping from the last integration of this type already set up. So you can see here that, for example, we have name to task name. All the mappings for the fields between the two systems have already been set up and they correlate. Then we also have columns here where we can set default values, transform field contents, set join conditions, or even apply field level filters. So everything looks okay, so I'll proceed. It went ahead and loaded 4 records. So on this third part, or our third tab, is where we get to choose our settings for the load. We have a few choices as far as load operations. We can choose to replace everything, do creates only, do only merges, or we can have a hybrid which we merge and create. So go ahead and select that. We can also choose to actually simulate a load or do an actual load. We'll do an actual load and click OK to proceed. Okay, so Spot went ahead and downloaded the 4 records. So here we have a few merges. So we have the tasks that already exist, they're still in white, and for the new tasks, they're labeled in orange. So we have analysis and design being new. For the APO infrastructure, for the call center upgrade, we have this new task called requirements gathering. Now let's assume we need to make a change to the status. So we'll go ahead and change this to ready. Everything looks okay. Now we'll save the changes into PPM. The 4 records were successfully loaded. Going back into PPM, we'll refresh. And the project planning marathon status changed from ready to in progress. Now we have a new task called requirements gathering. Now let's take a look at the work plan for APO infrastructure. After refreshing, we have our updated task status for the first task, and we have our new task analysis and design. So as a reminder, what we saw here was the first use case, where we synchronized work plan information from Smartsheets into PPM. Now let's go ahead and switch gears and take a look at the second use case, where we want to export PPM information, specifically project details, into Smartsheet files that represent portfolios. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the state of the data in Smartsheets before we set up the second integration. So we have a Smartsheet file called 2022 IT GRC projects. So these are the projects in that portfolio. And now we have a 2022 ITFM projects file in Smartsheets as well. So the projects on these two files have already been exported from PPM and linked to these projects in Smartsheets. So let's go ahead and set up the integration in Spot. Go ahead and click on the magnifying glass again. This time we're going to export from PPM. For the target system, we're going to leave it as Smartsheet. The source will be PPM, and we'll choose Request, and then Project Details. Then click on Select. So for the purposes of this demo, we're going to select individual files rather than use any general filters that could have been set up. Find our projects, select them, and then move on to the next step. So the field mappings have already been set up from the last integration. So everything looks okay. Click OK to proceed. It went ahead and loaded 4 records. We'll leave the load settings alone and then proceed. So Spot's going to go ahead and download the information. Now let me go ahead and change the plan start period for a few of these project records. I'll change it from August to September. Everything looks good. Now I'll click Save the changes back into Smartsheet. Everything looks successful. Going back into Smartsheet, you can see here in blue, this form demo LMS migration project changed from August to September. Now if I look at the other file, this LATAM's call center consolidation project also changed from August to September as well. So all the changes that I've been making get audited up to the record level. As I mentioned in the beginning, these data loads can be executed in fully automated mode from the server. For demonstration purposes, I've been triggering them manually. Now let's go ahead and conclude. So as you can see, this Spot product makes the challenging and expensive task of integrating PPM data easy yet robust, regardless of the PPM module or the data source. See how Spot can quickly turn your PPM implementation from an island into an integral element of the IT landscape. For more information, please feel free to contact us at info@ppmetrics.com or visit us at our website, www.ppmetrics.com, to schedule a full demo. Thank you.